Hey folks, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. The very last film for Till from Germany, who sent me this, which I'm very, very thankful for. Thank you so much for sending me this. It was so cool. As well as everything else you sent. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. And that is Razorback. Very, very, very underrated film, in my opinion. Still a very, very underrated film. And this is great. It has a great cover. Love the back of it. The slip. It's a two disc. The second disc is pretty much a documentary that's about 90 minutes long, or give or take. Wasn't really a fan of the documentary though, unfortunately, because they have the director, the producer, two of the actors who weren't in it that much. The woman who played our lead's wife, who's killed in the beginning of the film, and then a guy who was one of the two sort of scumbag characters. They have a guy who worked on the creature itself. I think the guy who did the music. You don't have too many people. And it seems like even some of these guys, not all, but some of these guys aren't really. I don't even know if they're proud of the film, if they even like the film. I mean, they don't outright say they hate it, but it's kind of that vibe, like when listening to the Chud commentary, which is a very fun commentary, funny commentary, but at the same time, I like Chud. So seeing these guys when they talk down on the movie, so it's kind of weird. Same with Never Sleep Again when they talk about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And it's like, well, I actually kind of like that movie. So, but at least it seems like the main stars, the main two stars, are kind of not as shamed by the movie as some folks. I don't know. You kind of got that vibe that like Russell Mulcahy, I don't really know which way. He didn't really. He seemed nice enough guy, but I wasn't really sure. Was he proud of the film? Was it this or that? The producer seemed like he didn't even like the film. The producer, or it's one of those things that yeah, we gave our best shot. We didn't really. Just a lot of times they're talking. Oh yeah, we didn't do that right. We didn't do this right. They go. They put down the creature effects. And of course, these guys who made the movie, they put down the creature effects. It's like, yeah, it looks like it cost $10 to make, and I'm like, what? I mean, yeah, you just say, well, they're being honest. I know, but I like the film. I don't. This film is very underrated. I don't see what those guys are talking about. If I had made a film like this, I would be insanely proud of it. And even like on that documentary for Australia's horror, not just horror, but exploitation called Not Quite Hollywood. The one thing I hated about that was they really put down Razorback in that documentary, Not Quite Hollywood. They really put it down. Oh, it's junk, it's this and that, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, am I the only one who likes Razorback? Fuck, it seems like I like you more than the people who made the movie. I like you more than anyone who was in that documentary. Gregory Harrison, who is the lead, he's not in this documentary. But I think he's in a snippet of that Not Quite Hollywood. Does he not like the movie? I just because it has a special edition, sometimes unfortunately sometimes it doesn't mean anything. Because you're like, how the fuck do some of these films get special edition? I don't know. I have a DVD here called Silent Scream. I've never seen the film, but I don't know many people who talk about Silent Scream or Final Exam, but they have features. Maybe they're good. Maybe that. I don't know. But sorry, that's sort of a little rant at the beginning. Not on the film, but just I think this film it gets crapped on a lot. The effects are made fun of. They go, it's too much style and not enough substance. It's not enough. It's too much style. It's too much about the look and nothing about the story and nothing about the. It's a Jaws ripoff and it didn't do it as well and the effects look cheap and I'm like, what are these people talking about? I do not see the same film. If you feel that way, fine. Be my guest. I don't see the film you're seeing. And before again, I mean, this is a film that was made in came out in 1984. It was Russell Mulcahy, I think his first film. Because the guy was a music video director, and he went and did a film. And of course, after this, he would do Highlander and such like that. And pretty much, it's hey, what if you have Jaws on land, Jaws in the Australian outback? Nothing wrong with that. And I think this is really well done. I mean, you have this old guy who's sort of a hunter type of guy, uh, who this big, massive razorback fucks up his home. He looks and his, I think his grandson is gone. And you realize this fucking big ass motherfucker, which I think looks great. The way they edited the scenes together. And I thought the practical stuff looks really good. You want to see shit? Turn on the Sci-Fi Channel. But I'm sure that would probably get more praise than this for some reason. I've seen $100 million budget flicks like R.I.P.D. and shit that look like ass. This does not look like ass. So I just don't get that. And I also really, the look of the film, the look of the film is very beautiful. And I think that's another they talked to the cinematographer, but the the look of the film again is really beautiful looking film. Whether it's usage of smoke, they really use the widescreen format. This is why I'm glad I have this DVD to see this in widescreen and better picture quality than my DVD-R. I remember I first saw this on VHS tape, and even then being really impressed by it's such a beautiful looking film, such a great visual look to the film. Um, I guess you can see that more. You can see that again, stuff like Highlander and Russell Mulcahy, though. You know, fuck Resident Evil Extinction or where the hell Resident Evil film he did. I mean, if you like, you're fine. I think this is a lot better, and it's like that film probably gets more praise than this film, and that's ridiculous to me. But yeah, just the way it looks, the way where the usage of smoke, the usage of lights, like this light going through the windmill and this old guy's place. And then this really fucked up idea that, you know, he has a grandson, a baby, and it took the baby. And you see like the reveal that it's gone, and he's you know screams like anyone would, and the way the Razorback titles come in just really well establishes, okay, wow, this is a film. It has a great look to it. I enjoy the score, the music done by uh, Iva Davies. Eva Davies? Eva, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Eva or Iva Davies. I thought he did a really good job on the score of the film. Not sure what else he has done. And they think of course they don't buy the old guy's story. They think that he killed him, and they have to let him go because of lack of evidence. But he's just pretty much now he's just on a mission to hunt razorbacks. And sometime later, and this girl, who this character Beth Winters, played by Judy Morris, she's the one of the ones on that documentary. She actually seems like she talks nice about the film, which is good that someone does other than me. I think my friend Effrey likes it. I think my friend Michael Keane likes it. So with her, maybe 4 people I know. Well, I don't know her, so 2 other people I know like this film. And I think that's a damn shame. You want to talk about monster movies? You want to talk about killer animal, killer creature films? This film needs a lot of more praise, and I'm surprised Shout Factory, Scream Factory has never gotten a hold of this or anything like that. It deserves a lot more. I mean, I can imagine seeing this on Blu-ray, like high def, just the visuals alone. And hell, if you need someone to talk good about the film, get my ass. I'll do it for free. Because it's such. Not only is the look beautiful, but I thought hey, it's cool. It's in Australia outback, has a nice environment. Kind of like I enjoy road games. That was a nice environment. The Australian Outback, starring Stacey Keach. I reviewed that film, I think, multiple times on this account. I really enjoy road games. Anyway, like I was getting to the plot, the woman, the wife of our lead, Gregory Harrison, she goes to Australia. She's a reporter, wildlife reporter. One thing leads to another. She's trying to interview this guy, the old guy, and he talks about how, I just want to blast the shit out of Razorback. And he's like, why are you hunting this and that? But because she doesn't know the full story. She meets these two guys. One thing leads to another. They fuck with her, and they see, I like some of the shots of the Razorback. They obviously took lessons from Jaws. You see its point of view, or you see a little bit of it, like you'll see it in shadow and the light bouncing across it, or the quick edits work well, I thought, for what needed to be done for the film. They work very well. And like the assholes, they fucked up her vehicle, so she's stranded there, and they hightail it out of there. The Razorback fucks up her vehicle, and its big giant tusks are going through the vehicle. It's well edited. I understand what's going on, and I like the use of this practical creature. I don't get why people. It's like why I don't get why people say the shark in Jaws look like shit. I don't think the shark in Jaws looks like shit. I don't think the shark in Jaws 2 looks like shit. I don't think this creature looks like shit. What, just like, hey, if it's practical, it looks like shit, but the CGI, we don't praise and give Oscars to? I mean, that looks like a video game? I'll never understand that. I'm sorry. I will never understand that. And no matter what anyone says, I will still never understand it. And you see the tusk going through the door, and she's screaming. One of the, she dies. They don't, and the lead guy, Gregory Harrison, he doesn't know exactly what happened to her, the circumstances with her death, so he goes to Australia. And I thought Gregory Harrison did a really good job. He was likable. He was easygoing. Like, I thought he was just a good actor. He was just a regular guy. He was just a regular guy in Australian outback, trying to figure out what's happening, like what happened to his wife, why, how she died, everything up, down, center. Uh, he talks to the old guy who they got some of the footage that she interviewed. Talks to the old guy, doesn't give much answers. Finds the other two guys, those two fuckos. The character's name is Benny and Dicko. So the fuckos. Talks with them, and they have like this factory. Or they work at this factory. And pretty much amidst of it, you have. It's not like the creatures in this wall to wall, so don't go in this expecting a body count film. But I never really expected that anyway. It's not like Cujo's a body count film. It's not like I wouldn't even say Jaws is a body count film. I mean, you have the girl at the beginning. You have the kid, uh, one other guy, Quint. I mean, you could probably count on one hand how many people die in Jaws. It's not a body count film. And that's not what it's supposed to be. Jaws 2, that's a body count film. That's why I always thought Jaws 2 sort of like a slasher movie. I mean, hell, even the shark becomes like Freddy Krueger with his fucked up face. It's like, slasher villains a lot of times, not a lot of time, but sometimes they just scarred up and even, he gets burned on his face like Freddy Krueger. But anyway. But you have really well done scenes, like this guy's watching TV and you have all these rumblings. Well, then leads to know in somehow, some way. I'm being kind of vague so that people can check it out, but I gotta give at least some stuff away that I enjoy. Most of this guy's fucking house gets pulled away as he's watching TV, and the thing gets pulled away, and it just shows the massive power and the fact they did this all practical. And the visual look, like for instance, there's a scene where these two assholes are hunting kangaroos, and the guy, Grady Harrison doesn't like it. They leave his ass out there, and it's like you better not go walkabout, or otherwise, we're never gonna find you. They leave his ass out there, and he's freaking out. And the environment is very creepy looking. The idea is like you have smoke, and Russell Mulcahy really put a lot of interesting visuals in this film. Kind of like, when I thought of Road Games. Really enjoy that film. You have some interesting visuals. But here you have, for instance, I swear there's scenes where he's running and it looks like there's two moons in the background. It's like a moon here, or I try and look at the camera. There's like a moon here and a moon here. And you're like, what's going on there? It's like just in the background. It's like, how the hell do they do that? In fact, one of the interesting stories I liked in the documentary was apparently Steven Spielberg called these guys later. So apparently Spielberg, maybe he was a fan of the film, and he was asking that, like, how did you guys do how do you have two moons? I thought that was actually kind of cool. And it's a hell lot better than a lot of the other Jaws rip-offs that came out after Jaws, but a lot of people hate Grizzly, and I enjoyed Grizzly. Grizzly's another film that I think gets a lot of shit. That probably gets even more shit than Razorback, but they both get shit, and I'm sorry, Grizzly is fun. Blows up a bear with a fucking bazooka. I mean, come on. Even though in the novel or something it's a flamethrower, which that'd be cool. But hell, he blows it with a bazooka. What's wrong with that? It's a killer bear killing people. I mean, I like Grizzly. Just like I really like this film. I mean, if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Razorback because it definitely has a striking visual to it. But I like Grizzly as well. But when I was talking about the scene, he's running, he climbs on top of this windmill, and in the morning you have the normal pigs. They're there on this farmland. They knock the windmill down, and he's obviously kind of losing it because he's going through the landscape and his mind's seeing this shit. Like, for example, there's a wide shot where he's like this big because he's out in the distance, and like over here it's like the earth has cracked open, like the entire earth has this gigantic crack in it. And then there's like a scene where everything's like orange, and then there's a scene that is completely like the bluish quality. And then there's like this weird sort of animal type skeleton. It almost reminds me of those creatures in the Dark Crystal, the good guys, if they were dead and almost barely a skeleton. Kind of remind me of one of those. And he's lying down, lack of thirst and stuff, and the sun, and even something like comes out of the earth, and the skeleton almost comes alive, and he's losing it. And like he meets this girl who's with the old guy, and when with I mean I don't mean like girlfriend, boyfriend or stuff, but this girl played by Artie Whiteley. I thought she did a really good job. And you could say she sort of becomes the new love interest in a way, you could say. Artie Whiteley, unfortunately, I don't think she's no longer with us. Yeah, unfortunately, she passed away in 2001, which is too bad. She was only 37 years old. That's really sad. I'm not sure how she passed away, but that's really sad. 37 years old, that's pretty young. And you may remember this girl. She was in Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. And before anyone asks for a review of Mad Max films, I don't own any of the Mad Max films. What? I don't have any of them. Maybe one day I'll get the DVD or Blu-ray trilogy set and review them all, watch them again. But I don't own any of them. So in case people ask, no, I don't have any Mad Max films. I'm not gonna review them until I have them. So just in case anyone asks. But Artie Whiteley in Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, she's the girl who, by the end of the film, becomes the lover of the gyro captain, the guy who flies that nifty airplane that he has, like chopper, the gyro. The girl who becomes his love interest by the end of the film is the girl in this film. So, two Australian films that they become love interests. And they have a good. I'm not gonna say back and forth because it's not like there's memorable dialogue, but it's not bad dialogue. Just because it's not memorable dialogue that you say off the top of your head doesn't mean it's a bad dialogue. Sorry about that. But yeah, stuff happens. The old guy ultimately gets killed. Not going to mention how. The guy confronts the two. He finds out what's happened to his wife. Confronts the two guys. One guy is like climbing down, after chasing him, and the guy leaves him there to die in this sort of like shaft, sort of not really a mine shaft, but sort of type of shaft. Chases the other guy to this factory, and of course the Razorback comes in and kills that guy. Final confrontation between Gregory Harrison and this beast in this factory. I thought, again, in the documentary, they just talked shit about, oh, not only does this look bad, but they talk bad about the ending, saying, yeah, it's too bad we left. We didn't have much time to shoot the ending, and we should have done a lot better, and it didn't really come out that well. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a great ending. The Razorback's knocking shit left and right, and he's trying to survive, and he's shooting at it, and one thing leads to another, and the way the factory looks, and the lighting, and the smoke, it just gives an atmosphere to it. This has a great atmosphere to it, wonderful atmosphere. Uh, the look of the film almost reminds me if Tony Scott had done a monster movie. If Tony Scott, may he rest in peace, if Tony Scott had a chance to do a creature feature, it would look like this. Or even Ridley Scott, it has a sort of it just has a great look to it, atmosphere to it, usage of smokes and stuff, lighting, uh, and he gets on a conveyor belt, and he's like, I like this funny bit where he's trying to goad the creature on there. He's like, "What, you want me to come down so you can kiss my ass?" And creature comes on there, and gets eaten up by the conveyor belt. Like there's a where they grinds up all the meat. It's like a gigantic fucking meat grinder, pretty much. And even the documentary, they bitch about that. I'm like, what's wrong with that? What, you don't blow up again? I mean, they blew up the shark in Jaws. They blew up the bear and grizzly. I'm fine that they don't mention blowing it up, but I like the way it's done. I like the way it was handled. I don't understand what was so bad about it. I don't understand what was so crappy about it. I don't really get it. I know the film was a big flop when it came out. I guess people in Australia got mad because they were trying to make it too commercial. As like, no, you must have certain themes and art, and it has to be about something. And you're making a conventional movie. I think I said that word wrong. Commercial movie. You're trying to make a commercial movie. You're trying to make a movie like Hollywood, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with that? What do I know? And even in the U.S., for what I understand, the documentary in the U.S. liked the film a bit better, like audiences a bit better, but it still didn't do much. Didn't make much money. Warner Brothers got it. They released it in a very limited release, which is too bad. I think it's on their Warner Archives thing. So if you want the movie in the U.S., it's pretty much a DVD-R that you buy from Warner Archives online. uh, I looked at the film. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it says here there's an audio featurette interview after Gregory Harrison. So I'll have to listen to that. But I don't know if that's an audio interview from back in the day or if it's an interview from today. So I'll have to listen to that to see whether. I mean, at the end of the day, I love the fact that I have this DVD because I watched the documentary once. I was disappointed in it, but I got some good nuggets of information. Also had some deleted footage from, I guess there's a videotape. Maybe it was only in Australia, this videotape. I don't know if it's was on the VHS I had in the US, where you had extra gore, and I'm like, why didn't you just put the extra gore back in there? Why didn't you put the extra gore back in there? Okay, it's from a VHS. You could put it in there. They've done that before. My Bloody Valentine, the original. I mean, just it's not like wall to wall gore, but it's decent. You see a bit more of the second guy of the fuckos. You see a little bit more of him getting eaten up. The old guy, who I said I was kind of vague on his death, but you saw a bit more, like his face got eaten off, and so you see a little bit more. But I'm like, why didn't you just put that back in the film? I don't understand why. At least they put the deleted scenes on there for me to watch. That was pretty cool. I like that. I do like that, so that's cool. And most of all, I like the fact that this is in widescreen. It looks great, and so I'm really thankful for Teal for getting me this, because this is the best DVD you can get for Razorback. I mean, the documentary is about, I said 90 minutes, but really, I'm looking on here, it is actually like 70 minutes long, 70-minute long. I mean, it's just it was just disappointing, or it seems like they're not really that proud of the film. And even though the producer's like, when he says people do, like when people ask him and he says he did Razorback, they go, "Why'd you do that movie?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Why not?" He goes, "Well, a lot of people went on to career, and but it just seems like a throwaway. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a compliment, but sort of a throwaway compliment. So it's like if they compliment the film, it's kind of like a throwaway compliment. Not from everyone, but a lot of people in it. It's like, oh, it's a throwaway compliment. I mean, they all say it's a good-looking film, but it's like that's it. But yeah, this is a really good-looking film. But I thought the creature was really well done for a low budget that they had. I thought they really accomplished. I think it beats the shit out of stuff that comes out today. You look at the Razorback on this, name me one effect in a summer blockbuster that looks better than this. I mean, I'm sorry. Don't tell me Battleship or fucking. I'll go one better. I did not care for the effects in Rise of the Apes. Because I could tell it was CGI. I like the effects in here, but that gets all the praise and Oscar buzz and all that stuff. Be my guest. I disagree. I thought the acting around was good, especially Grady Harrison. He was a likable guy. I thought the film moved at a decent pace. I never got bored. It's great lighting, great visuals. I like the musical score. It's a fun idea. A gigantic razorback and an Australian outback. Why not? It's not just another shark movie or anything like that, or another. You never seen. I think there was one other film that had that kind of premise later on. It was a film called Pig Hunt that came out a few years ago, which I actually remember being kind of decent. I don't have the film. I rented it. But I remember the film actually. It might have been directed by Jim Isaacs, who passed away. It might have been directed by him. And I remember it actually being pretty decent because they actually had some practical effects and practical gore. Not great, but I remember it being pretty decent. Yeah, James Isaac, who's no longer with us. It was the last film he directed. Yeah, I thought that film was actually a pretty decent flick. It wasn't great, but I thought it was a pretty decent flick. I know one problem I have about the film is that's a film that the pig is kind of takes a backseat. Some would say the Razorback takes a backseat to like the two assholes who fucked with his woman, but I thought the creature it was enough in there. He was in there enough for me, and when he was there, it worked well. But I just it's kind of a weird review because I keep stumbling over my words and mixing my words. I just don't really understand why this film gets shit on. I don't get it. I think Razorback is a damn good film. You know, not quite Hollywood. They treated this like shit. The documentary, it seemed like they're kind of sometimes they brush it off, or oh yeah, this should have been done better. This could have been done better. This could have been done better. This could have been done better. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I disagree. But hey, what do I know? I mean, how George Lucas thinks he can do better with Star Wars, and we know how that turned out with his special editions. But hey, what do I know? And this is uncut, but I don't know why it says uncut because it's not like the gore was put back in. Maybe it's so I don't know. Again, I don't know why it's called uncut, an uncut version. I guess I'm guessing because this is a German DVD, so maybe in Germany they cut even more stuff out and they put it back in, so thus it's an uncut version. But I think that's why actually, because I almost forgot this was from Germany. I know it's about 30-minute review. I don't know what more I can say about Razorback. I think it's a very underrated, entertaining. When I say entertaining, it's not like a fun. I've had fun, but it's not like a thrill a minute gore everywhere. It's not like Feast. Don't go as expecting Feast or Dead Alive or something like that. Maybe some people thought it was slow paced, but I thought it built a great atmosphere. It had a great look to it, and I thought it follows its story well. And again, Gregory Harrison trying to look into his wife's death, and you're not going to see wall to wall animal fucking up people. It's not a body count movie, and I was fine with that. I'm just going on and on repeating the same stuff, but I can't help it. I just it's me defending the film that I think doesn't deserve the crap it gets. Especially on that not quite Hollywood documentary. That was the thing that pissed me off the most. I'm like, oh cool, they're gonna talk about Razorback, and then they all pretty much everyone almost everyone shits on it. Fucking unbelievable. But I don't have any problems with this film. I don't get what the big deal is. But anyway, that's Razorback. What more can I say? But thanks for watching. Take care. Thank you, Till, for sending me these movies. Um, hopefully, I did the reviews justice. And we will see you later. Bye bye.